I want you to know that I will forget you after this moment and never think of you again. But you, I am quite certain, will think about me every single day for the rest of your life.
How long might that be?
All I ask, your majesties, is that you show her the same courtesy that she has bestowed upon me.
Someone doesn't realize that they're flying right into their karma. One thing about this person, they have this energy where it's like, okay, once they do a little bit of wrong, they start to leave, they try to escape the situation, and they've been under the radar for a long time, okay? And you guys probably let this person go about their life, okay? You weren't doing anything vengeful to get your lit back, but it's slowly coming back into your sphere. It's a connection here. It could have been a colleague here, it could be a family member, but people are slowly realizing that this person is not who they say they are, okay? And the thing that I'm getting in my head with this beginning of this meditation for your reading is butterfly. A lot of people had this butterfly thought process with this moth person, okay? So they thought this person was someone that brings about new beginnings, someone that has a sense of wisdom when it comes down to their daily lives. This person wears a mask, okay? That mask is slowly slipping, okay? And what it is in their arena is slowly going back into your direction because it's a thin line when it comes down to your colleagues, people who are in your midst who know each other, people who experience you as far as your work ethic, or just your family members, where it's the connection is very close by, where they can sort of look and fact check to say this doesn't sound right. This person was doing a lot of hasty bad behaviors, and this is what the collective was dealing with. It's slowly going back to you, okay? This person has always been in your web, okay? You have this tarantula energy here, and this person has always been in your web when it came down to really trying to live their day to day, trying to start their new beginning. But one thing about it is, though, no matter how much they try to start their new beginning, it's showing that they're not equipped to go on their new journey because they keep doing the same mistakes. They haven't learned from their bad behaviors. They haven't learned from, a lot of their karma that they sort of brought about their own life, okay? And with you guys sort of moving forward, it could be in your career field. It could be just just getting healing with family. This person here is bound to cross paths with you, okay? And with them having such a very horrible reputation, their reputation is going to be put on blast. And this person's used to burning bridges and allowing people to sort of look at the reputation of the person who they're trying to dismantle and sort of turn people against this person. This person is really being found out that they're like a moth, they're a wolf in sheep's clothing when it comes down to how they go about their livelihood, and people are really slowly looking at them as someone that they can't be trusted, okay? With this whistleblowing scenario, people are going to know how this person operates. They're going to see their bad attributes. They're going to see that they're able to, really go about, lying to get people to really follow their mindset. They go about, really a lot of gaslighting individuals and really doing a lot of smear campaigns when it comes down to, their communication. The moth energy is very hasty. They made the wrong assumption when it came down to you. When it came down to really understanding who you are as a person, who you are as a family member, who you are as a colleague, they came to the wrong conclusion. So with you guys going through this growth process right now where you're growing in your career, you're growing in your thought process when it comes down to how you handle your day to day, people are seeing you as a steadfast individual who really cherish proper communication. You cherish people who, take the time to really develop things in the right type of way when it comes down to your communication, your conversational boundaries. People have a sense of respect for you, okay? And this person, when you cross paths, they thought they could do the same type of behavior that they did in the past, sort of burn down the bridge, do things when it comes down to their smear campaigns, when it comes down to their communication with other people, and people are not falling for it. They're seeing you as someone that really has a level head, that you have this way as far as having a maturity, and they're looking at you saying, hey, you know what, this person's not really trying to dismantle you. They're not trying to talk anything negative against you, but looking at this person's actions, people are really, losing their interest in this person, and they're not able to really go about, they're fleeing from the situation or trying to start all over again, with their, new source of supply. Okay, people are really finding this person out and really looking at them as far as someone who, okay, with their reputation is going to take a nosedive. Okay, with their reputation, people are gonna know from whatever department they're trying to go into, whatever type of job opportunity. If you guys are in a similar networks, their reputation is gonna be across all boards, with people looking to see, hey, you know what, this person's just not really worth my investment. And it's all about people not falling victim to just going with the flow, going with what someone says to them, and put a factual thought process on what someone is saying. Like in gossip, they're actually looking to see, what is actually going on. And with people taking that stance where they're actually saying, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna just jump on sides with someone who I don't really know their character. They're taking the time to really see how this person operates, and this person's really used to things being done in the past. In the past, it could have been like, he or she could, say certain things and people would just flock to it. Okay, you guys probably look at this person like, what are you? Are you in a cult or something? It was just really insane how this person could just sort of turn the whole vibe of the room. Okay, and with people really taking the time to really look at their character, they can no longer do that. Okay, so they're gonna try to butter you up, try to get their reputation back into a good alignment. But you guys are still gonna have your boundaries with this person, because what they're trying to do is sort of play face here to say, oh well, you know what? Obviously, it wasn't that bad. I was like, if I'm talking to the collective right now, I'm not that bad of a person. It's good that you guys have this apprehensive stance with this person, because this person will use your friendship to sort of make other people sort of get on their side, where it's like, okay, well, you know what? Obviously, I'm not that bad of a person. If the collective's still talking with me, then obviously, I have some good nature in my heart. And no, you guys are knowing what it is. You're calling a spade, okay? With this moth energy, they're just using the performative behavior to sort of win the room. And with you guys sort of knowing that they come in trying to have that attention to sway the room from performative behavior, you're not allowing them to take that bridge, to take that gap when it comes down to communication. The tarantula energy, your web, your networks, okay? And people look at you as far as someone that has a successful network around them, and so what's going on in your environment, okay? This person's going to be caught in your web, but they're not going to be able to move, okay? They're not going to be able to move. People are going to see them in an exposed type of way, and with them being exposed, okay, you guys are going to be able to move on in your own particular journey. Your pathway is not just going to be stuck with this person. Whatever trials that they're going to go through, that's on them. Okay, you guys are going to be pushed into your new journey when it comes down to people around you that's going to invest in you, invest in your time, invest in your energy. Okay, and let this person be stuck in your web. Okay, let them be stuck in a web where people are looking at them from a very exposed type of lens. Don't put your focus on them as far as trying to invest back into a situation that's toxic. Just know when to leave something alone and let somebody face their own karma and the direction they choose to live in. Okay, let's go into your reading with the tarot deck here. Let's just go a little bit further. Let's see here. Okay, so yep, Nine of Wands. You guys are taking your time. You're being in this space where you're not allowing people to take that investment and say, hey, you know what, I'm back. I'm here to stir the pot. I'm here to get back to our good graces. You guys are knowing when to shut it down. Okay, so we got the Seven of Cups in reverse. You're not invested in something in the past where it just didn't serve your interest. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Three of Swords. This person's gonna be heartbroken because they can no longer manipulate. Okay, they can no longer manipulate. They can no longer use communication to sway the room. All their old tricks are gonna be, definitely in the past. Okay, let's see. Let's go a little bit further. Ten of Cups. And while they're heartbroken, you guys are going to be growing. You got the Emperor card here. You guys are going to be growing. So their path as far as going through their trials and getting their karma back, okay, that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. They're going to try hard to sort of sway the room. If this is a family member, they'll try to get in your good graces. They've been coming into you very, hot and heavy when it comes down to trying to get your heart on the same page as them. and you guys just know where to place this person. You guys know where to say no. You know, you dug your grave. You're gonna sit in this corner by yourself and go about your own healing process, and hopefully you can have some accountability. You guys are not forcing any type of accountability with this person. Bottom of the deck, okay, we got the 4 of Wands. You guys are in your happy beginning here, okay? Let's keep going. 9 of Pentacles, all about growth. With you guys leaving this person alone, having your boundaries up, and knowing to say, okay, you know, it's about this time to sort of like, you know, focus on myself. You guys are not going to have any type of dysfunction in your life. If you have this person trying to come back and sway you off your goals, it's going to get real chaotic. All right, let's go further. And they are going to be heartbroken. We got the 5 of Cups. Because they're like, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, because they acted in haste with you, okay? They made a lot of bad judgment calls with you when it came down to, you know, investing in the friendship, investing in the family, investing in the loving relationship. They're realizing that they were way too fast when it came down to putting their thought process on you and putting you in a box and not really taking that time to really grow with you, okay? 2 more cards. Let's see here. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, while they struggling, you growing. All right, and Ace of Cups. All right, you guys looking good. Like I said, you guys are no longer settling for bad investments. You got the 9 of Wands, you got the 7 of Cups reverse. You're like, if I see that this is not worth my time, not worth my investment, I'm not going to be somewhere getting my heart broken with someone that's not really looking to really grow in a proper way. 3 of Swords. You're not going to put yourself in a heartbroken situation here, okay? You know what 10 of Cups looks like, okay? With you growing, with you being in this truth teller type of energy here, you know what happiness looks like. And you know when people who are coming to you in your environment trying to sway the room and they're just talking a bunch of like, you know, their mouth game in the situation, you're like, it's not worth my time. You guys are embodying this emperor energy, okay, rather male or female here. You guys know where to have your emotions and not lead with your emotions. You're looking at things from a very practical lens, and also you're looking at it from your emotional lens as well, but you have an emotional maturity that this person didn't realize that you had. But guess what? If they would have took the time to really grow with you. Like I said, some of you guys just could have been a family member. They could have been like, you know, really set on how you were in the past years ago, and you're not the same anymore. You grew. You know, at a different age, you're able to mature, and you were able to like go about your process of life and really cultivating yourself in many different ways. And they were stuck in the past. Okay, they were stuck in the past as far as what you were, but you were able to change and grow and develop, and you rose as this emperor energy. Okay. 4 of Wands. You're all about happiness. You're all about the proper investments. If this is a loving relationship, if this is a past love connection, you're all about knowing you want to invest in someone that's on your same page, okay? The Emperor's looking for the Empress, okay? They're not looking for someone that's like, you know, going to bring them down, or this moth energy, you know, that's not even a new beginning, okay? The butterfly, that signifies the new beginning, okay? This energy right here, it's just like I said, it's a masquerade that they're trying to do on their day-to-day lives, and they're trying to come back with that same type of game, trying to play in your face, okay? And like I said, they're devastated, 5 of Cups, because it's all about the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I really wish I would have treated this person right. I wish they, you know, we had a stable interaction. We were able to grow properly, but they didn't. They weren't investing in you. And you guys know that you're like, hey, I can be bad all by myself. 9 of Pentacles. You're all about growing. You're all about knowing what abundance looks like. And you're seeing this energy. This is not what abundance looks like. You're knowing for yourself that if anybody has me in this 3 of Swords energy, okay, this is not what abundance, this is not what stability looks like, okay? Because you're all about the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Success, growth, happy life, happy family. That's not only financial growth. That's all about, you know, emotional well-being as well. Having people in your corner, have healthy friendships, okay? You're not playing any type of games. Like I said, we're ending this with the Ace of Cups. You know what friendship means. You know what security means. And like I said, you guys went through that phase in your life where it brought about a lot of like heartbreak. And this person put you in this journey to really understand yourself as a person, to know what your boundaries are, and to know what you are not going to tolerate in any connection that you run into, okay? You're tolerating a healthy, growing environment. You see the heart with the Ace of Cups here. You're looking for that healthy growth in the environment. You're looking for someone that's going to bring in emotional security, whether it's in a friendship, whether it's with family or a love life partnership. You're looking to have someone that's going to grow on the same page with you in this Emperor space, okay? All right, guys, this is your reading for the month of March. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Have a good one.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.